She sat in seat 12F, her knees pressed together, her fingers clutching the boarding pass as if it were a lifeline. The hum of the airplane filled the cabin, and through the oval window beside her, the tarmac stretched endlessly, dotted with aircrafts and flashing lights. To the other passengers, this was just another flight. To her, it was an escape. An escape from small-town whispers, from classmates who laughed when she said her father was just a janitor, from the ache in her chest every time she saw someone else's family dressed in sharp uniforms or business suits. Her name was Lila Carter, 19 years old, a freshman who worked part-time shifts at the diner to cover tuition. Her father, Thomas Carter, was the school janitor everyone knew but no one noticed. He was the man with the mop, the quiet figure fixing lights and unclogging drains, the one kids often brushed past without so much as a thank you. She loved him deeply, but she also hated the way the world saw him, as invisible. "Miss, would you like something to drink?" the flight attendant asked kindly. She smiled faintly and shook her head. Her stomach was already in knots. She was traveling to a student conference across the country, and though she'd pretended she was excited, the truth was, she felt terribly small in this big world. She longed to be proud, to say without hesitation, "My dad is my hero." But the words always caught in her throat, trapped behind embarrassment and the sting of poverty. The plane lifted into the clouds, and passengers settled in. Beside her, a businessman tapped away at his laptop. In the rows ahead, children giggled, while a soldier in uniform leaned back, closing his eyes as if used to travel and uniforms and duty. Lila looked at him and wondered what it must feel like to come from a family of honor. She didn't know that within the next hour, everything she thought she knew about her father would collapse and rebuild itself in a way she could never imagine. It started with the crackle of the intercom. "Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. We've been cleared for smooth travel, but we've just received communication from nearby Air Command. You may notice some movement outside your windows, do not be alarmed. It's standard procedure." Passengers leaned toward the windows. Gasps filled the cabin. 2 F-22 Raptors, sleek and powerful, appeared outside, gliding alongside the plane like silent guardians. Cameras flashed, children squealed, and grown men whispered in awe. "Why are fighter jets here?" someone muttered. "They only scramble those for emergencies," another said nervously. Lila's heartbeat quickened. She pressed her forehead against the cold glass, watching the gray shadows of America's most advanced fighters slice through the clouds. The entire plane buzzed with questions and fear. Then came the moment. The radio chatter. It wasn't meant for passengers, but somehow, the pilot's speaker picked up the transmission. A firm, commanding voice echoed through the cabin. "Midnight Viper, this is Falcon 1. Do you copy?" Lila blinked. She thought she'd misheard. "Midnight Viper?" Another voice answered, calm, steady, deep with authority that could not be faked. A voice she had heard every single morning when he asked, "Want eggs or cereal, kiddo?" A voice that belonged to the man who pushed a mop through echoing hallways at midnight. "Falcon 1, Midnight Viper copies. Standing by." Lila's blood turned to ice. "Dad?" The cabin fell into stunned silence. The soldiers, the businessmen, the mothers, the children, everyone froze as if they, too, recognized that this wasn't normal. Even the uniformed serviceman sitting a few rows ahead sat upright, his jaw tightening. "Sir," the pilot's voice came back, respectful this time, "Air Command requests confirmation." Is this the Midnight Viper?" "Affirmative," her father's voice replied. "Former call sign, Midnight Viper. Retired, but I'll guide you through. Let's keep this bird steady. You're not alone up here." The cabin erupted into whispers. "Midnight Viper? The Midnight Viper?" People pulled out their phones, searching the name. The soldier in uniform turned slowly toward the passengers, his eyes wide. "Do you all understand who that is?" he whispered reverently. Midnight Viper is a legend. The one who pulled off the impossible over Kandahar. The one who flew cover for 3 units with his fuel tank shot out. The one who saved hundreds. He's the reason some of us are alive. Lila's mouth went dry. She couldn't breathe. Her father, the janitor, the man who smelled of cleaning chemicals, whose hands were cracked from labor, who bent over to scrub floors while people ignored him, he was Midnight Viper? Outside, the F-22 pilots snapped to attention. Their jets tilted slightly in salute formation, a gesture usually reserved for the highest-ranking heroes. Her phone buzzed. A text from Dad. Hey kiddo. Heard you're in the sky right now. Proud of you. Don't worry if you see some jets. Old friends keeping watch.